Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Because visit time with my friend Charles Alvarez, a primo business consultant, sales and marketing consultant extraordinaire, really changing businesses all the time. And so any business is struggling with issues of particularly systems. I find the biggest problem that companies have is a lack of systems, and they try to work hard rather than work smart. And he really helps overcome those, and so does a great job for his clients. As a client, I can say that with authority. CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com. Charles, you want to add anything to that before you introduce your guest today?
No, I appreciate that, Kevin. I'm really excited about our guest today, who is the owner of My Castle Realty.
And what is that website, by the way?
That website is AskMyCastle.com.
AskMyCastle.com. Welcome to the program, Gary. How are you, Gary Bisha?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing?
Doing great. Glad to have you on. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, our story, we began the business in 2001. We're a little bit different than most real estate companies. We are a real estate company as well as a for sale by owner company. Which sounds a little bit odd, but that's how we began. We help people sell their home, not using Realtor, but with Realtor services.
Very good. Charles?
Well, Gary, when you and I spoke a couple of weeks ago, I was very, very intrigued that the fact that, when I asked you, when you started talking about for sale by owner, you didn't squirm like most realty companies do. So kind of tell us, what are the multiple ways that if I wanted to sell my house, what are the multiple ways that I can engage with your company to help me reach my goals?
Well, before I begin that, let me kind of explain. Typically what a real estate agent does is they'll put your home on the MLS, and then more than likely buyer agents bring in the buyers. What we have is a program that gives you the benefit of everything that a realtor does, plus more. For instance, you do one of our packages, one of our programs, it's a flat fee system, and when you engage in that, your home is listed on our websites, TexasBizmo.com, as well as the For Sale by Owner magazine, but also we put your home on the MLS on a flat fee basis, meaning that it shows up just like anybody else's listing. The difference is you always retain the ability to sell your home yourself. But at the same time, we're letting buyer agents know, hey, bring me an offer. I'm not going to pay you 6%, but I'll typically pay you half of that, which is 3%. So you're hedging yourself in both markets, the first sale by owner market, but you also have the HAR, Realtor.com, in that market.
Very good, very good. How long have you been doing this, and particularly from this unique business model?
Oh, we began in 2001.
2001. Charles?
So, Gary, in other words, if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying is if I wanted to coordinate the showings, if I wanted to be there, then I can just put it on the for sale by owner and be done. But if I wanted to also engage your company to basically take it from soup to nuts and, just tell me when there's a showing, you take care of it, I can engage you in any of those criteria just based upon what it is that I want, how engaged I want to be in the process. Is that correct?
Absolutely. You're in the driver's seat. This is it's a do-it-yourself program, but at the same time, you've got a coach that's helping you. And what we explain to our customers, we have seminars which we teach people how to do this. Your job basically is to manage the showings, take the phone calls, and coordinate that. And at the tail end, if you need help with contracts, we help you with that too.
Very good, very good. Is there any particular part of town you operate, or are you all over the place?
We are all over the place. Conroe to Galveston, Baytown to Katy. We actually have a brokerage in San Antonio and Austin also doing the same thing.
Very good. Charles?
So when somebody comes and approaches you, kind of tell me what the process is on how you engage them. In other words, how do you go about finding out what they want, and what type of recommendations do you make in the process? Like, do you lead somebody towards a recommendation, hey, based upon your goals, I think you should just let us take care of it because you're too busy, or, hey, based upon the fact that you do have time, we recommend you use fee-based because you probably don't need us to do the full. Like, how do you go about that process of determining what is the best fit for your company?
Well, and that's a great question. What we do is we try to learn a little bit more about our client before we make a recommendation. What are their goals? How soon do they need to sell? What is their time schedule like? Is their house on the market now? What type of success have they been having? what's worked and what hasn't. And based on the answers to those questions, I'm going to say, Charles, here's my recommendation, and here's why. And it's based on how fast you want to sell. You may want to do all of our marketing packages, or if you're just testing the water, maybe just do our internet-only packages. But it really depends individually on what your goal is. Now, you mentioned something about how busy they are, and that's a misnomer with the for sale by owner business, that you can't sell it yourself if you have a busy schedule, and that's really not the case. We have the same access to centralized showing, pre-qualifying buyers, and everything just the same as a full-service agent will provide.
Mm-hmm. By the way, the website again is AskMyCastle.com. That's AskMyCastle.com. And you can learn more about our co-host for this segment, Charles Alvarez, at CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com. Any closing thoughts before we wrap it up, Charles?
Well, I just really encourage people, usually when you go to a realtor, they try to push you into their 6% and, we'll take care of everything for you. And you kind of just get this sinking feeling that, gosh, that all they do is slap it up there and, I'm basically paying 6% for little value. What I'm really, really impressed with My Castle Realty is most realtors are not open to change. And the value that he delivers is like, look, what do you want to accomplish? And then he fits you with a whole host of different ways to actually get from point A to point B. What Gary does exceptionally well is he truly understands what his clients want to achieve, and then he fits them with the right program. So, Gary, I commend you. And if anybody's out there looking to sell a house or relocate, I definitely recommend My Castle Realty.
Yeah, very good stuff. Appreciate both of you for being with us here today. Do want to remind you again, Charles can be found over at Cornerstone Business Academy. That's Cornerstone Business Academy. And our guest, again, you could learn more about him at Ask My Castle. Is that right?
AskMyCastle.com.
Yeah, yep. AskMyCastle.com. And so I encourage you to check both of those sites out. And enjoyed having you, Gary. Gary Bisha, enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. I appreciated it.
All right, when we're back tomorrow, we'll have much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. You too, The Price of Business.